In a world-class safety culture, safety is a shared responsibility pursued on a daily basis by every member of the organization. Everyone goes beyond the call of duty to identify unsafe conditions and behaviors and intervene to correct them. Everyone actively cares about safety and demonstrates that commitment by engaging in and promoting safe work practices. And safety is never compromised. It is an organizational value and ethic that guides everything we do. Employee ownership, commitment, and empowerment of the safety process are key to creating a world-class safety culture. Employees are in the best position to identify safety hazards and system barriers that may cause an injury to our staff, patients, or visitors. Employee opportunities for involvement are available to address safety hazards and concerns. They include the Safety Committee, which meets monthly as part of the clinic operation team, and safety hazard concern forums located in the employee break room. OSHA and approved state plans like Minnesota's establish guidelines and standards to promote worker health and safety, to prevent work-related injury, disability, and illness, and save lives. The Act requires employer responsibility to provide a workplace free from serious recognized hazard, ensure you have safe tools and equipment that is properly maintained, and that you're trained in their use. To use posters, labels, or signs to warn of potential hazards, and to provide medical examinations when needed. United Family Medicine must communicate. This includes annually outlining operational safety and health procedures so risks and safeguards may be understood. This hazard communication program includes information provided here, review of crisis management policies, and infection control training for job classes providing direct patient care. We must also be accountable to keep records of work-related injuries and illness and conform with OSHA requirements and deadlines for reporting and corrective action. Transparency requirements ensure you or your authorized representative have access to the log of work-related injuries and illnesses, your employee health records and exposure records, and that OSHA citations will be posted until hazards are addressed. OSHA also ensures whistleblower protection. Employers may not discriminate against employees who exercise their rights under the Act. OSHA established the Employee Right to Know Act to ensure 3 employee rights: to be informed about hazardous substances and harmful physical agents with which you may work, the right to education so you know how to safely work with hazardous agents and prevent exposure prior to working with them, and finally, the right to refuse to work under imminently dangerous conditions. To work safely with chemicals, you need to know basic chemical information: how they enter the body, how to handle a spill, and how to use personal protective equipment, or PPE, to prevent exposure. A hazardous substance is any chemical that can potentially cause harm to human health or the environment. Hazardous substances and chemicals are used at United Family Medicine. Examples are cleaners used to clean patient rooms and equipment, flammables such as alcohol, and compressed gases, oxygen and nitrogen. Hazardous substances can enter your body in 3 ways. Some can be inhaled as fumes, vapors, or air particles. Work in well-ventilated areas and keep containers tightly sealed. Use PPE, including appropriate masks when needed. Some harmful substances can be absorbed if splashed on the skin or in your eyes. Pour slowly and wear proper PPE such as gloves and gowns. Include goggles or face shields when splash or spray is likely. Hazardous chemicals may also enter through your mouth when eating or drinking. Do not eat or drink where hazardous materials are used, and always wash your hands before eating or drinking. All chemical containers must be appropriately labeled, identifying chemical name and ingredients. This includes both primary and secondary containers into which products are poured. Under an internationally recognized, globally harmonized system, some labels will include additional information. This includes the use of signal words. Danger denotes severe or immediate hazard. Warning is used for those less severe. A numeric rating system from 1 to 4 is also used. This ranks 1 the number 1 hazard category, with 4 the least. Pictograms provide a visual depiction of specific risk. Pictogram information has been posted on our OSHA board and on the board outside the clinic coordinator's office. Material safety data sheets provide information about the properties of hazardous materials. United Family Medicine provides an online resource for searching safety data information. Look for the MSDS Solutions icon on computer desktops. Our password and login are included here. Please note, it may be difficult to search products in broad categories. Because many manufacturers make bleach, both product name and manufacturer will be needed. For others with a single brand name, it may be sufficient just to use that name. Work with your team leads to determine what hazardous materials are present in your work area, if you need help locating this icon or using this resource. It's a good idea to practice search a couple of items to familiarize yourself with this resource. Spill kits are maintained in each of the nursing team soiled utility rooms, at reception desks, and in the lab. They contain instructions on how to manage a spill along with personal protective equipment. Cleanup should only be considered if you know what the material is, and cleanup can be safely addressed using available PPE. Only nursing, lab, or dental staff is authorized to clean biological spills. Any spill of unknown origin should be treated as an unknown hazardous material spill. Leave the area immediately if the substance is flammable or vapors are toxic. For any spill emergency, inform your manager immediately. Report its location, the approximate amount of material spilled, and the name of the material if known. For skin, mucous membrane, or eye exposure to a known hazardous or unknown substance, remove contaminated clothing. Immediately flush affected areas with water for at least 15 minutes. Eye wash stations are maintained in the lab, yellow team soiled utility room, and dentistry. A shower is available in the employee locker room adjacent to the break room. Get medical attention and first aid immediately. Notify your supervisor and report the exposure to employee health. A 24-hour number is located on badge safety inserts. If you don't already have one of these, you can obtain one at the information desk. Complete an online incident report and submit this to your supervisor. The link can be found in the Policies and Procedures folder on all UFM computer desktops. Enter your email username and password to log in. Harmful physical agents may be encountered in our work setting. Examples are heat, cold, noise, and radiation. Special PPE is available for protection from physical agents, including lead aprons, cryo and autoclave mitts, and others. Infectious agents include communicable bacteria, parasites, fungi, and viruses. Protections include biohazard labeling affixed to any container that may contain blood, body fluids, or other potentially infectious material. Isolation and PPE guidelines are in place for patients with highly transmissible illness. And specialized infection control training is held for staff with direct patient contact. For everyone, hand hygiene is the most effective way to prevent transmission of communicable disease. Alcohol-based hand rub is available in all clinical areas in the employee break room and available for any employee on request. CDC guidelines outline an effective TB control program, including early identification, isolation, and treatment. In accordance with these guidelines, United Family Medicine conducts staff TB screening at hire and annually for employees whose job responsibilities require contact with patients on a regular basis. Screening may include PPD skin test, X-ray, blood test, or review for TB warning symptoms. We conduct twice-yearly respirator fit testing, along with training in their proper use for staff with regular patient contact. And we have policies in place to limit exposure, including isolation of persons with suspect disease and exclusion of active cases until cleared by the health department. It's important for all employees, regardless of job class, to be informed. You can protect yourself if you know the symptoms. They include productive cough lasting for more than 3 weeks, coughing up blood, loss of appetite, weight loss, lethargy or weakness, fever, and night sweats. Work-related injuries need to be reported immediately to your supervisor. For emergencies, call 911 or go to the nearest hospital. Injury or illness you believe is work-related needs to be reported to employee health. Their number is listed here, and you can find a 24-hour number on your badge safety card. And don't wait. Report symptoms such as pain, numbness, or tingling as soon as you experience them. Early intervention equals early resolution. For work-related injury, complete an online incident report so we can look into the incident in more detail. 2 main goals of an accident or incident investigation are to determine the cause of the accident or injury and develop corrective action to prevent future occurrences. Some workers are more at risk for injury than others. If everyday activities put you at risk, these safety tips may make your job easier and safer. Keeping your upper back straight and in a neutral position maintains the natural curves of your spine. Good posture is essential to good body mechanics and can prevent back injury and fatigue. Change positions frequently to restore the neutral position and take regular breaks. When standing for long periods, alternate placing feet on a small stool. Use your legs both when lifting and lowering, and avoid bending at the waist. Keep loads close to your body, even if they're light. Lifting a load at arm's length increases the load on your back 10 times. Twisting while carrying heavy loads combines the weight you're lifting with that of your upper body to increase the weight by a factor of 4. Turn your feet and not your back. Never lift heavy objects above shoulder level. Split large loads into smaller, more manageable ones. And avoid risk factors for cumulative trauma disorder. They include repetition, force, awkward posture, and insufficient time for the body to recover. Assistive devices are available to help you. They include a mechanical lift, wheelchairs, and transfer belts and boards. Caregivers should ask for help when a patient's weight significantly exceeds their own, either when lifting or pushing a wheelchair on an incline. Always lock wheelchairs when helping patients into or out of them. And speak up. Let your supervisor know if you feel ergonomics at your workstation are not conducive to neutral body positioning. Remove faulty equipment from service and notify your supervisor immediately. Label with reason for removing the article from service, the date, and your name. Contaminated equipment should always be decontaminated prior to repair. This should always be done by trained staff. Items that can't be decontaminated should be containerized and labeled with a biohazard symbol. Keep ancillary articles attached. This will help to analyze the malfunction. Items for repair should be placed in the mailroom. There will be times when furniture is exposed to infectious agents or parasites. Nursing staff should be informed so furniture can be taken out of service or isolated and disinfected. If cleanup is delayed or while it's drying, furniture may be covered with a disposable drape. Only nursing, lab, and dental staff are authorized to clean biologic contamination. At no time is contaminated or defective equipment allowed in the back stairwell unless authorized by administration. If you witness an injury or fall at United Family, inform your supervisor immediately. Encourage evaluation to assess the extent of the injury. Reporting incidents serves to improve our standard of care and safety and actually reduces our likelihood for liability. Incident reporting is required for any fall, injury, or error in providing care. This includes medication errors. Incident reports should always be completed by the person witnessing the event or directly involved, rather than secondhand. These reports are internal documents and should never be given to patients. In order to maintain safety of staff and patient confidentiality, certain areas of the clinic are limited to staff only. This includes the break room, medical records, business office, front desk, team, and dictation areas. Unauthorized visitors, including ex-employees and family members, are not allowed in these areas. Patients and individuals accompanying them are limited to patient and public areas. Visitors with a business purpose are required to log in at the information desk on arrival, log out when they leave, and must be accompanied by staff in secured areas. Individuals found to be wandering or visiting in any excluded area or upper-level parking should be offered escort to their destination or asked to move to a patient or public area. Please report any suspicious activity or persons found in these areas who will not comply. On leaving the building, if you come across a secured door that will not lock or any door that will not close properly, attempt to secure or close it. If this is not possible, report the situation to your supervisor immediately. Never leave the building unarmed or unlocked. You may have to remain on site until backup arrives. Your badge provides not only building entry, but access to upper-level parking. If yours is lost or stolen, report it as soon as possible so it can be deactivated. Workplace violence is a serious safety and health issue. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, its most extreme form, homicide, is the fourth leading cause of fatal occupational injury in the United States, and this has been a consistent statistic in recent reporting periods. In our workplace, the greatest potential trigger for violence is pain prescription seeking. Use your best judgment when dealing with an aggressive individual. Get out of harm's way if the situation escalates beyond your control or the individual becomes violent. And look out for one another. The importance of this can't be stressed enough. Research has identified behavioral warning signs common to situations that may escalate. They can be remembered using the acronym STAMP. They include staring or glaring at staff. It may also include persons who will not make eye contact. Tone may include increased volume, demeaning inflection, sarcasm, sharp or caustic remarks, belligerence or hypersensitivity. It may also include veiled threats. An example: "You've got a really nice clinic here. It would be a shame if something real bad happened here." Any threat against staff, veiled or otherwise, is taken very seriously at United Family Medicine and must be reported to your manager immediately. Signs of anxiety include being flushed, hyperventilating, and dilated pupils. Extreme physical pain indicated by grimace, writhing, or clutching the body may also provoke anxiety. Patients who express poor understanding or acceptance of clinic processes and policies may also demonstrate anxiety. Criticism of staff members or the clinic in general may be heard as muttering under the breath, just loud enough to be heard, or repetition of the same questions or requests multiple times. Pacing and frequent return to the staff area is another sign a situation may escalate. Potentially violent persons share many of the same behavioral characteristics. They may be suspicious, unable to take criticism, believe they are exceptional and entitled to special treatment, or feel they are a victim. They may demonstrate lack of concern for others or their safety, may suffer from low self-esteem, may demonstrate extreme or bizarre behavior or have irrational beliefs, or express hopelessness. So what can you do if you encounter an escalating situation? Remember that a person who is anxious or feels they are being treated unfairly is unlikely to accept suggestion that they calm down or criticism of their behavior. Go one down, not one up. This means speaking softly in a calm manner. Treat the person with respect, even if they can't give this to you. Actively listen. This means letting the person know that they've been heard. Statements that reflect such as, "Let me make sure I understand," demonstrates a desire to recognize and understand where the person is coming from. Don't waste your time and energy trying to solve a problem that's unsolvable. Offer choices, something that you can do to help the situation, even if only indirectly. Reassure that you will work to help meet their needs, rather than offering excuses or explanations. Ask another employee or supervisor for assistance if needed. Avoid eye contact lasting more than 3 seconds. Position yourself at the same level as the other person, so you are neither in a dominant nor submissive position, and keep a comfortable distance. Avoid physical contact with any difficult individual. Recognize signs of imminent violence: shaking, shallow rapid breathing, sweating, clenched jaw or fists, and disengage and fall back if you are threatened. Panic buttons are located on the underside of desktops at the first floor information desk and second floor reception desk, where it's the furthest back of 2 buttons. Staff at either desk will be happy to point these out to you. When panic buttons are pushed, police are automatically dispatched to the clinic. Panic buttons should always be pushed if the person threatens bodily harm or damage to property. An overhead page should always be made to provide location. Panic buttons activate strobe lights at red and yellow team stations. When these start flashing, staff on these teams are responsible for alerting others on their floors to stay clear of the area of concern. Dentistry and mental health should be alerted, but if the incident is in the lobby, should be notified by phone. Everyone should stay clear of the area identified by overhead page. When the situation has resolved, all clear should be announced. Building alarms cannot be set while panic buttons are engaged. These must be pulled back out after the incident for security systems to function properly. United Family's emergency plan includes situation-specific overhead pages to bring available staff and resources to the scene. To access overhead paging, dial star 30# from any clinic phone, then press 00. Paging instructions can be found on badge safety cards. It's important that announcements be made loudly, clearly, and 3 times, providing location. Remember to let the information desk know if emergency personnel is called so they can direct them appropriately to the scene. Most fire deaths are not caused by burns, but by smoke inhalation. Policy calls for evacuation in the event of fire. You are not expected to extinguish a fire yourself. You should only attempt this if you've been trained in the use of a fire extinguisher and the fire is small and well contained. Alerting others will bring first responders and the fire department to the scene. United Family Medicine has ABC type fire extinguishers for ordinary combustibles like paper and wood, flammable liquids, grease, and electrical fires. To use a fire extinguisher safely and effectively, think pass. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle, and sweep in a side-to-side motion. Extinguishers are located near all emergency exits, in the ramps, and outside the break room. Know the location of fire exits and evacuation routes for your area and always keep them clear. Never pass through a closed fire door unless it is critically necessary to do so. In the event of fire, it may be necessary to move patients, visitors, and staff to a safer area, including outside. In the event the building needs to be evacuated, go to the uncovered south parking lot adjacent to delivery parking. Stay 10 to 12 feet away from the building. If it becomes necessary to move further away, carefully cross to the other side of the lot. Never stand in the driveway or interfere with the movement of emergency personnel. Elevators should never be used in a fire emergency. Fire code requires a 3-foot clearance around all extinguishers and an 18-inch clearance around fire sprinkler heads. Pressurized tanks must be secured and stored upright in racks or cages at all times to prevent tipping and potential damage to valve connections. These also present an explosion hazard in the event of fire. Steer clear of these in a fire emergency. Fire department personnel may ask where they are located, but only they are authorized to move them. To prevent fires before they occur, United Family Medicine is a no-smoking building. Smoking is not permitted anywhere on the premise. Electrical outlets are never overloaded. Extension cords are never used. Multi-strip cords are permitted, but only for computer equipment. Electrical cords are never placed under rugs. And expressly prohibited by fire code are portable space heaters, obstructing evacuation routes, and propping open fire doors. United Family Medicine has a generator to power emergency lighting. If power fails, patients should be escorted to areas with lights on. Non-ambulatory patients should be accompanied by a staff person at all times. Your first call is to Melissa. We have found that electricity is typically restored within the hour. If this doesn't happen, administration may make the call to cancel clinic. Vaccine refrigerators are on backup power, but if these would lose power, keep the doors closed. Designated staff will monitor unit temperatures and begin transport off-site if the outage is prolonged and temperatures begin to rise. Telephones automatically forward to the answering service. If phone service is not restored within 20 minutes after electricity is restored, unplug from the outlet, wait 15 seconds, and plug the phone back in. Inform your supervisor if service does not resume so Melissa can be informed. Providers and staff are to park in the upper ramp or uncovered parking at the south end of the building only. If space is not available, on-street parking should be used. Covered parking in the lower ramp is designated for patients only. The patient parking lot opens at 6 a.m. and closes at 10 p.m. Cars left in the lot outside of those times may be towed. That includes cars of patients who've been sent to the hospital. Be sure to ask patients who are being admitted if they have a car in the ramp. Cards are available at the information desk that can be filled out and placed on their windshield to prevent towing. And please be careful at the five-way stop at the clinic's intersection. It can be confusing, and it is illegal to turn right on red. There have been multiple mishaps, and tickets have been issued. Thank you for helping United Family Medicine create a world-class safety culture.